Hey guys, Anthony, 4x4 Diesel. This one, did he give it a new life or was it too late? Anyway, we've got a bit of info in this one. Partly is going to be a little bit about customer service, turbo replacement, engine replacement type information. So this is Jeremy's vehicle. Funnily enough, he contacted me yesterday. He contacted me yesterday. He thought he needed a turbo. So he paid a deposit yesterday. I ordered it yesterday. We booked it in with one of our workshop partners yesterday, and we received the turbo today. The turbo's here on the bench. It'll be going on the car today, so it's going to be a 24-hour turnaround. Now, this is what happens when the workshop partners work as a team. We can make things happen sometimes when it's an emergency, but I warn you right now, do not expect this type of service all the time because we're all very busy and it's not usually the way it works out. He must have done some good deeds. He's done something right. So you can see this is the Hilux. What do I know about it? Not much. It looks like it's got a new engine to me if I jog my memory quickly from the many text messages I go through on all Pradas and Hiluxes with people all day, every day. If I remember correctly, it had a new motor. Now, I don't know if it's new, like a new long motor. I don't know if it's how old new is. It's got some dust on it, so it's not that new, but it's fairly new. But the head looks shiny, but that could be reconditioned. So I don't actually know if it's new, but it looks, looking around at everything, it does look fairly new. I'd say, a few months ago, 6 months ago. What would have happened? Well, does anyone know the kilometres on this? Because I can't remember. So I didn't get organised. Anyway, my guess, that nobody gave it a new life. And what do I mean when I say give it a new life? Well, there's all the standard maintenance, right? You do your oil changes, your oil filters, your air filters, your fuel filters, and then you do all your diff oils and all your other vehicle maintenance. But let's go back to the engine. On the engine maintenance on this diesel engine, it's really just changing oil, air filters, and making sure everything's working right. Now, no, wrong, because if you don't do the maintenance, and when I say maintenance, I'm talking preventative maintenance. That's what maintenance is. It prevents problems. If you don't do the preventative maintenance, and that is replacing the injectors and the seats, it is going to die. It's going to be dead one way or the other. Whether it's from the blow-by, the blocked oil pickup, the oil starvation, which is my guess what happened with this engine, and that's probably why the turbo's failed now. Now, the other problem is it does have a larger exhaust. I'm just going to briefly say, we know the turbo specialist, we see a pattern, and the turbo specialist tells us the bigger exhaust allows overboost, and that's what causes the problem with these turbos. So you might want to reconsider if you've got a bigger exhaust, unless you want to be in the market for a turbo. Now, when it comes to, whoa, have a look at that. That's interesting. I hadn't seen that before. On the alternator, the positive there's been shorted out. So yeah, not my job. I literally, no planning, there's no script, I just bang, here we go, let's do, we got a catch can. Of course, maybe this guy hasn't seen too many videos, and catch cans are okay. Lots of people have got catch cans, but understand what it does, what it doesn't do. There's a whole heap of people out there that want to push the catch can thing, still want to push the catch can, and they'll almost have you convinced that you need one, or they will have you convinced quite easily, depending what information you're watching. If you haven't seen my information, then you'll probably be all over the catch can. So you need to give it a new life. We're going to have some more videos soon explaining more about giving it a new life. But this is a turbo job, so let's have a look at the turbo. Yeah, what do we got here? We got the old turbo. This is the old turbo, and this is the new turbo. Guess what? Brand new, genuine turbo. Look, it says Toyota there. Look, it's even got fancy colours on it. Look at that. Beautiful. Look at those colours. We've got orange, yellow, blue, quality control checks. Look, you can get, we've got a turbo specialist. He can do, rebuilds and upgrades and whatever. That is a cheaper option usually. I just like the brand new, genuine. You know what you're going to get. Generally, if you run a standard exhaust, regular oil changes, you let it all cool down and do all the right things with your turbo, it's going to last you a very long time. Another quick tip, if you've got a bit of oil on the bottom of it down here around, see where that orange sealant is, right? You get a bit of oil around the bottom of the turbos. If it's just a little bit, a bit of a sweat, whatever, don't worry about it, okay? Don't think you need a new turbo because you've got a bit of a sweat going on around there. We've seen probably, I would estimate probably 1 in 10 vehicles almost. What do you reckon on 1 kds? About 1 in 10 have probably got a bit of oil on the bottom of them down, around here. You know, you see it every now and then, about 1 in 10. So you see the same as me, and you know what? I don't sell turbos or change turbos because of that. And a year later, 2 years later, 5 years later, mate, they're still going with the same little bit of oil on the bottom of the turbo. Bada bing. Just having a quick look around. I'm pretty confident it is a brand new long. When we say a new long motor, we mean new. You know, new. New is, there's only one new, like a new car. When you get a new car, you don't get one that's been restored, have you? You know what I mean? So some people seem to be getting a bit confused when we say a new long motor, and then they start looking for, you know, rebuilds and whatever, H&M engines or D4D or whatever it is, right? Whatever brand of engine you want. You know, that's not new, mate. That is rebuilt. That's possible oil leaks. It's possible burning oil. It's possible premature cracked pistons. It's possible who knows what you're going to get with anything, because it's not one quality person doing the job. It's a team of people, and it's hard to get good workers that do the job right. So there's always a risk there. That's why we like the brand new long motor. It comes from Japan, made in Japan. The injectors are already in the engine. They're brand new, genuine injectors. Comes with a fuel pipe. It's all nice and clean and sealed. And look, there's a lot less risk doing it that way. You've got a new engine, the injectors are in there. You don't even have to rely on these clowns to do the injector installation correctly. You know, half the job's done. It's just the pipes. Worst case scenario, they stuff that up. It's all external. We can fix it later. You know, they may bust all your plugs, clips, clamps and stuff like that. It's things that other workshops can fix later, but if you can get it to the right workshop in the first place, then that's what you want to do. But so it does look like, you know, the cover's nice and clean. The bolts are nice and clean. They don't look like they've been removed, other than obviously the one to put that clamp there. But I could be wrong, you know. It looks very good. The pipes actually look new as well, like, you know, fairly new. I'd say this was done a few months ago, so I don't know. I'm sure if Jeremy watches the video, if he wants to make himself known, he can put it in the comments and let us know what month and year it was done, how many Ks, what was the cause of the engine failure. Most of the time it is the blocked oil pickup thing. It's still way too common, and there's probably a lot more of those than you hear about, and people don't really know. They think, you know, oh, someone must have not serviced it or what. Nothing to do with service. It's to do with preventative maintenance. So I'm going to quickly go through it again. The injectors, that's these things under here that are under the valve cover. They are, as part of normal schedule servicing, every 40,000 kilometers, the correct procedure is that the fuel pipes are removed from the vehicle, which risks contamination, which is why I'll say at that point, this is not what we recommend, okay? We do not recommend this. But by Toyota schedule service, the correct procedure is remove the fuel pipes, and often a lot of places, you know, including them, they do not remove the pipes. They either don't do anything, or they take them off at this end, they bend them back, right? A lot of workshops do that. A lot of dealers do that. We've got the evidence on that. We call it the Jack in the Box. It's in many other videos. Check our injector information playlist if you want to know more. But the correct procedure is to remove the pipes, remove the valve cover, remove the injectors. That means you are going to clean and reseat the injectors. That would mean you're never going to get blow-by, because our evidence shows they last an absolute minimum, when installed correctly as per factory or better, they last an absolute minimum of about 150,000 Ks, right? Which is why our recommendation is about every 170,000 Ks, because the risk of contamination from removing the fuel pipes is far too great. So it's, unless the vehicle never goes off-road, doesn't get driven, and it's even cleaner than this, is pretty clean, but see all the dirt and dust? That's what's pulling in those nozzle seals around the pipes, and the risk of contamination to the injectors is far too great. And we know these engines, we're talking about these engines in particular here, we know that the valve clearances will be okay, unless you've got something outside the normal, some aftermarket things like catch cans. They can affect the valve clearances. Another reason why we're not a fan of catch cans, okay? But by replacing those injectors at about the 170 mark, some vehicles 150, some vehicles 7 years, 8 years, whatever, there's those variables. Sometimes you can stretch them for 200 or more. We've talked about it in many videos. But at some point that's calculated correctly based on our information we provide from all the experience specializing in these engines on Prados and Hiluxes, you need to make a decision to give it a new life. It's time for a new life. When you do that, when you do the big job, check the valve clearances, put the new injectors, reseat the injectors, new pipes, everything, It'll be running in peak condition again, Mickey Mouse, and it may have even been running pretty good before, but that's the once every 7 or 8 year major maintenance. It needs to be given a new life about every 7 or 8 years, and it will be given a new life. It'll run like a new one again for another 7 or 8 years or even longer. But if you ignore that and you think everything's okay and you're going to stretch it, then what's going to happen? It's going to come to an end at some point in time, unless you're very lucky, okay? Now, if you're very lucky, that might work for you, but it's not going to work for a lot of people, and we don't base our recommendations and information on luck. Anyway, guys, we're out of here. It was mainly to tell you about the customer service. First contacted yesterday, ordered yesterday, received today, the turbo will be on today, and if he's lucky, he might even get his car back by the end of today, if everything goes to plan. But then again, there could be some other little jobs to fix up, who knows, like that few things we've spotted there. I'm sure there's some other things. I haven't even been over the other side yet. Guys, thanks for watching. Subscribe, turn the bell on, get yourself educated about vehicle maintenance. You really need to know about it so you can avoid major failures. And I hope you give it a new life. Thanks for watching. Hit the like button if you like something, learn something. Hope it gets you thinking. Catch you on the next one. See ya.